Yes, my good friends are there. I still remain Dr. D. Aiju, your lecturer on chemistry on social media. We have been dealing with chemistry topics all this while, and right now we'll talk about delta H notation. My previous lecture was on collision theory, and in any reaction, either heat is given out or heat is absorbed from the surrounding. And we have this delta H. So the delta H notation is what I want to discuss. The term enthalpy is simply the heat content of a chemical reaction. Enthalpy simply means the heat content, the amount of heat in a chemical reaction. It is represented by the letter H, capital H. That H means the amount of heat content in a chemical reaction, and it's called the enthalpy. So the heat content of the reactant is represented as HR. Here, HR, heat content of reactant. While the heat content of the product is represented as HP. Here, heat content of products. Now the difference in the heat content of the product and the reactant is known as enthalpy change. The difference between the heat of the product and that of heat of the reactants is called the enthalpy change. Enthalpy change. Enthalpy change. In other words, it's called the heat of reaction. The enthalpy change is also known as what? Heat of the reaction. It is represented by the symbol delta H. Delta H. So this symbol you see like a triangle is called delta, and which means what? Change in. So the delta H now means that is the enthalpy, means that the heat change of the product minus the heat content of the reactant, and that gives you the enthalpy of the reaction. All right. Now, delta H is negative for an exothermic reaction because the heat content of the reactant is greater than that of the product. And I was discussing about exothermic and endothermic reaction. I said it. When the heat content of the reactant is greater than that of the product, it is given out to the surrounding, and that makes it what? Called exothermic reaction. So if this is so, it means that the delta H, which is the enthalpy change, will be negative. Now the other hand is, if the heat content of the product is greater than the heat content of the reactant, it means that extra heat is required or needed to facilitate the reaction. So it now means that the enthalpy change will be positive. So that is what you have here. Delta H is negative if the reaction is exothermic reaction. Delta H will be positive if it is what? Endothermic reaction. So please love it, like it, comment. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, click my bio and get the link. Thank you.